It's another episode of Beyond the Tap. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
It's been a little while.
It's been like 6 hours.
Yeah, something like that. But no, I noticed I think we're wearing the same color today.
Yeah.
So
I
good.
think great. I think we're spending so much time together that we're now like having the same.
We're becoming one.
Yeah, we probably have the same vision board now too in our closets. Yeah.
It's actually mine's on Pinterest.
Oh, okay,
but,
same.
Yeah.
Samesies.
And
is that what basic people
But
say?
are you wearing pajamas today?
No. But
Okay,
this
'cause
honestly
last
could
episode
be
you
a
were.
great pajama top. And
It looks
honestly,
comfy.
I have a pajama top just like this, but it's light pink. So
So do I. Weird.
Weird.
That's so crazy.
We're so
All right.
cool.
I hear all the cool kids have that.
Yeah.
So speaking of cool kids, with us today, we're going to have the great folks from Bentonville Brewing.
Hell yeah. I've been so excited. And their new place is so cool. And I'm getting pissed because all my friends are going. And I'm like, wait, what about me?
Yeah. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. But first, we do have to mention we are live here in the EcoVet Studios at Farm Studios.
My fave.
Thank God for EcoVet, man.
Seriously.
I'm actually I'm getting ready to head over and chat with him a little bit about some website stuff.
Oh, dope.
But because their business is doing incredible right now, Mike.
Yeah.
There's no wonder because Mike is so awesome and they're doing really great. So
I love it. Thankful for them.
If you guys need custom furniture or guys, girls, whoever, if your significant other has a honeydew list for you that involves woodworking projects,
they have it.
Go see Mike.
They're running out of wood probably by now.
Actually, no, they just got another truckload in, which is awesome.
Oh yeah, they break it down trucks. That's cool.
Yeah, so they break down the old Walmart trucks, which is actually what these walls are made out of because they're our set sponsor. So go check them out. And of course, we have the incredible Seth McDaniel from Growler's Uptown and Kitchen and Tap House. He brought us some burgers tonight. We've got a spicy brat slider, regular brat, home sweet home burger, and an on the border burger. So
I can smell it from here. I can smell this. I can spell the smith.
Spell the smith. All right.
And he brought us Cobb salad, so he's trying to keep us on that lean.
It's good because I need it.
Yeah, same. I'm looking at that ranch like I could chug it, but I won't because that's gross.
Maybe we could do shots of ranch one day.
Yeah, we can guess the ranch. Who's ranch?
Blindfold ranch shots.
Seth, only for you.
Well, sweet. Well, but without more ado, I'm just going to go ahead and say let's bring the party on. Katie from Bentonville.
Woo!
What's up?
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Katie and I talked about that beforehand.
Yeah,
so inside
jokes.
jokes.
To, right? Hey, we got the sticker on there. What's up?
Hey,
Lee, how's it going?
Hey,
going
guys.
well. Thanks for having us on.
Come on in. We got you there.
We got you some ranch you can drink if you want.
Shots of ranch. Little egg.
Hello.
Welcome, Katie. Yeah, so just don't forget as we're going here, make sure and keep up close to this mic. Otherwise, we won't hear you because it does noise cancel.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, did y'all have a long drive to get here?
22 minutes on my Google Maps. So
actually,
not that bad.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
That's good. That's really good.
Dialed it in.
Nice.
Well, I'll tell you what. It's been this has been a long time coming. We're excited to have y'all here.
I know.
Thanks for joining us here on Beyond the Tap.
Yeah.
We had our original, I guess, what would you call it? Conversation scheduled for right when we were supposed to open. And then a bunch of stuff happened.
Yeah. Me and Aunt Rona came to town.
Yeah. That soup.
We couldn't have friends over.
That soup went bad.
Yeah, it did. It went real bad. Okay. It went a little skunky. So
no, we're happy to have y'all on. I feel like y'all have a lot to share about what's new and what's going on. And
there's been a lot.
What's on your heart? Share what's on your heart.
Oh my gosh. So speaking from the heart.
Tell us.
Wait, should we start with like intros and roles and the coolness that y'all do?
So Katie, I'll have you go first.
Okay. So my name's Katie Boykin. I am one of the owners, and my latest title is COO. It's changing a lot, just depending on what I'm doing, but that's what it is today.
That's an awesome title. Yeah.
Yeah, Katie does a little bit of everything at the brewery. She does everything that everybody else didn't want to do usually.
And she mostly keets everybody else in line, right?
Yeah.
She
does that.
Backbone.
Looking at you, Steve. Looking at you.
But anyway, I'm Lee Robinson. I'm one of the owners at Bentonville Brewing Company. I'm actually not a full-time employee. My work evenings and weekends for the brewery, just kind of the 10,000-foot view, helping with more of the financial parts of it, more of what can we buy, when can we buy it, how are we going to pay for it? That type of stuff.
That's good.
That is crucial.
That's kind of important when it comes to a business.
Yeah.
So
I would just go to be like, money, please.
Yeah.
That's
Katie,
quite
where
a bit
do we
of what we
stand?
do.
All right, here we go.
Well, that too. And if I was at the brewery all day, every day, they probably wouldn't still have me around. So.
Whatever.
Hey, it's like what Gary Vee says. He's like, I couldn't get hired by my own company right now, but I can run it, and which is good. I feel like that's important because he's got the other skill set that the everyday folks don't. So
it takes a
wonderful. Village. It does. So yeah, welcome. We've got
that's a true statement, though. Yeah. It does take a village for sure.
Yeah,
I love that.
And we've got a good team together now, so we're real happy about that.
How big is your team now?
That's a fantastic question. I'm pretty sure we just hired like 2 people today. So
okay.
Our
welcome newbies.
I know, right? I think our tap room staff is 16 strong now.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we have 8 full-time employees outside of that. Mm-hmm. Steve I'm counting him, he's full-time, but he's our taproom manager.
Yeah.
And then we have a couple of the folks who work in the taproom who are starting to help in the brew house and in distribution. So even though we're growing, we still all pitch in everywhere and do a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and we cross-train everybody in all areas. So, shit goes down, hop on the bottling line.
That's right.
What's up?
You got a clean driving record? Here are the keys. No, I'm just kidding.
All right.
My insurance, don't listen to that. We don't do that.
I think that's any small company, too. You've got to be very flexible, and everybody's got to do a little bit of everything.
Yeah. You can't stick to a specific lane like in a defensive way because you just got to roll with the punches.
Yeah, it kind of keeps it humble. It feels like a family. I feel like most of the breweries and people that we talk to, it like works like a family, which I love that. That's
absolutely.
Cool. Yeah, and y'all's sweet new home.
Yeah.
Woo! That is such a cool outdoor space.
That is. I have enjoyed a few nights on that patio so far, and so how's everything been? I know for listeners right now, we are coming out of the whole COVID thing. I think Arkansas is about ready to advance to phase 2 of reopening, and
we are in phase 2 now.
We are in phase 2 now. Okay, great. So that's how much I care about it. But as a business owner, I feel like you guys need to care more about it than I do just drinking and talking about it. So, but yeah, how has everything been? I know obviously COVID put the whole kibosh on the initial grand opening day. You guys just moved into your new space in Bentonville, like Bianca said, and so tell us. I mean, you guys have been kind of let's walk listeners through, I guess, the whole story of you guys started out on 5th Street. Let's go from
where
there.
Airship is. Yeah, wasn't that where it was? I remember being there live, but my memory got hazy.
Rewind back to how many years ago?
Yeah, that was 5 years ago. Well, I probably leased the building probably about 6 years ago, actually, because we had the building for, 8 or 9 months before we actually opened up.
Wow.
You kind of have to have an address to start all the licensing and stuff to get the brewery going. And we also had to do a lot of build out. We put a lot of improvements into that building.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, staying there long term didn't work out for us very well. We had some parking issues that the landlord wasn't real happy about, and we ended up having to leave. And so we ended up we were fortunate actually at the time that Ozark Brewing Company was moving to their new location, and we were able to kind of move into their old building and get a month-to-month lease while we worked on our new place and kind of plug and play. We had to do a little plumbing, a little electrical, but not as much as we'd had many other places. We couldn't really afford to temporarily move a brewery. It's kind of expensive.
Yeah.
And so,
I can imagine.
Yeah. So we got real fortunate that happened at the time. We were having troubles with our lease. And then we were working on building another building in Bentonville right off exit 86 on the east side of the bypass. We bought some land and almost had the building ready to go, start building it anyway. We had large scale development approval from the city of Bentonville. And then we got approached by a rope swing group to moved the location where we're at now, and they built the building for us to suit, and they've been great with us. They've set us up for success. They've helped us out with the terms of our lease and build a building that we couldn't have done on our own.
Yeah.
So we're real happy about it.
Rope Swing is great.
Absolutely. And I mean, they are investing just like all the breweries here, investing huge in Northwest Arkansas. And so it's just really cool to see how everybody's advancing together. And we'll get into it a little bit later, but we want to talk about how you guys have kind of connected with other breweries around here and things. But yeah, so you were there on 5th Street. I know the parking issue, that's actually kind of probably a good issue, right, overall, because you're that popular, right? Like you're starting to get that many people coming, which is a good business move. But then obviously there's some trip ups that come with that. So you end up taking over Ozark's old building.
Yes.
And so Bentonville Brewing was located in Rogers for a while.
Yeah, that was pretty funny for a lot of people.
We liked it. We liked it. It was fun.
I'm sure people from out of town probably thought like their Google Maps is broke. You're taking me to the wrong place.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what's going on here? But it worked out well for us, and we shifted our focus at that time to the outside sales. We knew our tap room wasn't going to do what it did in Bentonville, being Bentonville Brewing Company in Rogers. And, we had events there and did some things that worked well for us, but we really changed our focus and focused on our distribution and packaging and kind of learning how to do that part, so that once we moved over here to the new location and have a lot more capacity, we can quickly, hopefully, ramp it up. And we've learned a lot of the hard lessons already, we hope. Yeah. We're sure there's more to learn, but we'll work through it like we have.
So, go ahead.
Well, but we might have had the same question. Who knows? But like, who got it started? Like, who was the original team, the OGs? Yeah.
Well, it was me, and actually a friend of mine were brewing in his carport for some time, Phil Treadwell, and he asked me to help him start a brewery. And life kind of took us different directions. And at the same time, very early on, with the second people that I thought the call was, it was Katie's husband, Bo. He's our brewer now.
Okay.
We're trying to get back closer to family from Colorado. And Bo and I had been talking a little bit, and this project came up with Phil and I was like, well, hey, I know this guy that might be a good brewer. He's not got a lot of experience, but he's really smart. And so I was like, let's give him a call, see if he's interested. And he was, and we had some meetings, and then Bo and Katie decided to invest and become part of the team. And they've been running the business since it opened 5 years ago.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So then when did you guys close down at the old location in Rogers?
March.
Back in March, yeah.
Yeah, we got out of there at the end of March, but our tap room closed like a week before the end of that.
Okay, all right. Yeah. And then you guys moved over. When was the reopening in Bentonville then?
Well, technically it was April 1st.
You guys started doing to-go, right? Or like curbside service, which was awesome. I'm glad that Arkansas got that.
Are y'all going to continue that? Or I'm wondering, a lot of breweries, are y'all going to kind of keep going, like depending on how these phases go?
If the ABC allows us to keep on going, because it was really something that the ABC did to help businesses be successful during this crazy time.
Yeah. And I feel like that helps. Like, I'm thinking of other people I know who have families and kids, and sometimes it's hard to get out and do an errand. So I can't imagine how many families and parents are like, hell yeah.
Yes, I'm in. Sign me up. Does it cost? I'm in.
Please bring it to me.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. I mean, y'all, so I'm thinking about that timeline. Y'all kind of were some of the beginning, the OGs of this craft boom scene that we have. Wasn't it 5 or 6 years ago that things really got started? Yeah. I mean, I remember, I know Saddlebach and them got started real early, but then y'all came up not shortly after that, right?
Yes. So
my timeline right?
Washington County, there's breweries there first because Benton County was dry 6 years ago.
I forgot about that time.
So
it was dark and stormy time.
No one remembers.
4 scores and 7 dark years ago.
Yes.
Erase the history books. No, I think Ozark was the first in Benton County. If I'm
they were correct, and Bike Rack was number 2.
Okay,
I think
and then we were 3.
Cool, nice. I knew it.
Yeah,
and we stayed the second brewery to open up in Bentonville. We're still the second brewery to open in Bentonville.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Setting the tone. Those beers are delicious. I'm excited about what's on the table. We
Yeah,
won't talk about it right yet, but
yeah,
I'm excited.
No, that's great. So yeah, you guys are up and running. Business is starting to pick up, which is good. Right? I mean,
no, I hate that.
No,
I'm just kidding.
I'm saying,
of course, I love it.
It is
great.
Picking up, right?
Yeah. Well, yes, actually,
your patio has been full.
Yeah,
it's been, and we're very fortunate in a lot of ways. I mean, of course, we would have, given anything to not have all this pandemic stuff happening and to been able to open up normally with a big bang and a ribbon cutting and everything, but. it kind of forced us to have like an extended soft opening, which, you know, can be beneficial. And with all the outdoor space that we have, it really gave us a venue to let people ease back in from isolation or, you know, just being in quarantine where they could feel safe to come out and they'd be outside and it's nice and spacious. And,
it's like they're learning to be social again. They're like, I mean, can I have a beer?
We've gone away from grunting and rough, scribes on the wall, and now we're back into full-on taproom mode, which is great.
Yeah.
I know, well, you actually are just down the street from me, so you're within bikeable distance, which is pretty much everything in Bentonville as well. But, so what challenges did you guys come across being some of the first of the area? Like, what was obviously being dry and
to open up?
Yeah.
Well, we're actually really fortunate in Arkansas as far as beer laws and alcohol laws go. You wouldn't really think it since we're just talking about being a dry county so recently, but for a business standpoint, like you're allowed to self-distribute. You can have a tap room like on the site of your brew house. Yeah. Which isn't the same in all states. Like I think, and be doing the growlers to go and beer to go. So all that stuff it's nice that was already in place. I think challenges, aside from just the normal like real estate location, finding that in Bentonville, Lee can speak more to setting up that part of things. But I think educating the consumer, when you're coming from a dry county to something like with craft beer, in my opinion, coming from Colorado where it was embedded in the culture and it had been around since people have been drinking craft beer since the 80s, and they would be open during the day and kind of close early instead of be open at night, and you would, bike there, bring your kids, bring your dogs, hang out, and it'd be much more of that communal, a place to visit and try beers and hang out. Not like where I think a lot of people think it's a bar where you go to get drunk, and that's totally not the case. So just educating them on the culture side, in addition to what different types of beers are available. We're not just, it's not just Miller or Bud or Guinness or Bud.
Nothing wrong with those, but they've got their place.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And so to be like, this is what a beer could taste like if it's hoppy, and this is what a beer can taste like if it's sour, and this is it's just talking about those different things.
Yeah, I love that, and that's something important to talk about because we always talk about like barriers or reputations that things are associated with different industries, like the craft brewery industry. Yeah. And I think back in when it first kind of popped up, it's like, oh, dudes, craft brews, patios, a place to get drunk. But I think it's more than that. It's like family hangout during the day. There's patio space. I mean, I guess you can address kind of the different things that y'all set up in your outdoor space and inside to kind of incorporate that. Yeah. Because I think a lot of breweries have that mindset, like, hey, this is a space to when you're done with the bike ride, bring your dog and let's hang out on the patio. You want to play some yard games, you want to do trivia. I mean,
because you guys have a dog park on site, or like a little fenced in area,
which is so cool.
And you got tell me about the kid bike thing as well. The kid bike area,
it's a pump track for kids, so it's like this soft playground type surface, but it's got hills and valleys. It's not so high, but it's for small children, and then we have a bunch of stride bikes so that they can
do y'all have the Strider brand?
We do.
I love those. Nice. I work at Bike and WA in my 9 to 5, and so those Strider bikes are game changers if you have any kids that need to learn, because they figure out balance first, and then. But that is so great that y'all have that. I mean,
you guys,
all the rage.
If you don't already, do you already have a connection maybe with the Buddy Pegs and getting those guys out there?
So my kids go to Helen Walton, and Buddy Pegs works with them, and so that's definitely on my radar for when things
Gerald is the man.
Telling you,
so that we can have some type of tutorials or a place for kids to meet, and it's just a really good venue with the space and then the access to the trails, and to allow kids to learn and be more comfortable, because a lot of it's just that comfort level. Some kids are just afraid of bikes, but it's been really cool. My kids started on a stride bike too.
Love it. That's cool. What else is cool? And we got on that bike tangent like we normally do.
Yeah.
But
well,
tell
we're
us
both
more.
into it, so
we love bikes.
Natural combo.
But tell us more about your space, like your cool new space. I mean, I feel like I see it every other day on Instagram. Like someone's there and it's like, check it out. It's so cool.
Yeah, talk about the difference between the old space, the initial Fifth Street space versus where you're at now. You know, whether it's seating space or
how much time do you have?
As much time as you're willing to give us. Let's roll.
That's a pretty long story, but I mean the differences and between the different spaces. But for one thing, the Rogers location, it's like 4,000 times nicer building than
it's air conditioned.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah,
the brew house is air conditioned, which is kind of rare in craft breweries, small craft breweries. I think only about 20% of the study they did that shows that only 20% of small craft breweries have air conditioned brew houses. So when we advertise for jobs now, we're going to put that out there, air conditioned brew house. We've got slope floors in the back, so the water drains towards. Instead of like puddling up in the
pooling
corner
everywhere.
It's the building's great.
I've worked in those warehouses.
So we're very fortunate. But on the inside, we've not got to do everything yet. Like we have some nice leather couches and chairs and a nice sitting area that we've not been able to put in because of the restrictions with COVID-19. And we've kind of got the table spaced out a little different, but also the outside, we've not put all the tables in we can there as well. We're kind of leaving it where people can feel safe right now. So we haven't got to fully do everything we wanted to in the space, but we're happy with what's going on now. And it's really exceeded our expectations. And we've been so lucky with a lot of businesses struggling right now that we're actually doing very well since we were actually able to open up. It was rough and a little scary for, probably 5-6 weeks where we didn't know for sure when we'd be able to open and what it would be like when we did open. Will people actually come out? And like they came out, people, I think, we're very social people in general, as far as most people, and that they wanted to get out and they're tired of being stuck in the house and, wanting to maybe, see their friends again.
You have your extroverts who are like, I got to get out. And then you have your introverts who are like, I like this new seating.
I like the new seating. I like the new delivery.
No one talk to me, contactless. Let's go.
I'm a fan of some of it too. I mean, the traffic being a lot better has been really nice.
Oh, I know. 49.
I know.
Knock on wood.
Just in time for more. So much wood.
There on 14th Street too. That's where the traffic can get really bad. When it picks back up, it's where you're going to have to go wait it out. So
my dreams before COVID happened were to spend a little bit of time at Climb Bentonville and do my workout, and then come over and just hang out on the patio. I mean, but now Climb's open, so those dreams can come true.
We'll get there.
Yeah, but I think y'all's location is a great spot because I feel like development is starting to move out in that direction.
Yeah.
And I feel like. You said y'all partner with Rope Swing. I mean, what a powerhouse group to be with, I'm like, are there other partners are y'all partnering with Climb Bentonville at all, or, any cool people? Maybe there could be partnerships. Hello.
Well, we do plan to do some events and joint events with Climb. With Climb Bentonville. We haven't spoken about it lately because kind of events are off the table right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's definitely been a huge concern, I think, for a lot of folks. I know, like even. Down in Springdale, there's Tawny Town Winery, and they're starting to do some stuff, but I know it's got to be very limited in space.
And, they're like ticketing.
Yeah.
But
it's really cool to see that. But I mean, I can imagine that certain community partners have really helped you guys kind of navigate. Was there one or two groups that like maybe helped you guys navigate the whole COVID thing and reopening, and whether it be a different brewery or whether it be a local small business, entrepreneurial group? Or
well, we actually got some pretty good help from the National Brewers Association and also the State Brewers Association. We have some great associations for our industry, and that's what's probably helped our industry grow.
That's awesome,
and be so strong. So that helped, and actually even one of our local friends and patrons, Gan Nunley at
I love Gan.
Nunley Chevrolet.
We love you, Gan.
He was sharing information with us, and then our bank, First National Bank of NWA,
love them too.
They before PPP and all these other things came out, they called us and said, "What do you need? How can we help?"
Wow.
And we're here to help, and if you need anything, let us know. So.
The local Chamber of Commerce too was helpful in like keeping people up to date with the information that was coming out, and they've provided us with over 200 free face masks.
Yeah, we got some from them too.
Employees and patrons, so when they did come in, they could follow the guidelines that we're trying to enforce.
Hashtag because Bentonville.
Exactly.
I mean, Northwest Arkansas in general, but I think that's awesome to like hear about the help and the, people lending a hand.
Sure. We also sold some gift cards through a program, Katie. We'll probably tell more about that.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
I think the folks at Mo Vista had set up like a support local NWA program where they were providing gift cards, like a platform for people to purchase gift cards.
Yeah.
And the community really stepped up. And I mean, I don't know how much was spent overall to support local businesses, but we sold $500 worth of gift cards.
Wow. Yeah.
That was great. So
that is great. Brian, did you know about that?
I did not know that.
Yeah,
actually.
so basically they were, because no one knew what the future was going to look like, they were basically saying like, hey, if you can't go, still spend your money now.
Yeah.
And you can spend it later.
Yeah.
So then they started promoting buying gift cards from all these people. And that's
really cool.
Yeah, I love that. And I think people, if you still aren't feeling comfortable coming out of your house, you can still do things like that. So.
Yeah. Well, and I saw like folks doing that. I know I did that. My wife did that with my barber, her hairstylist.
Yeah.
Prepaying and working on. Hey, it's gonna come. It's gonna be there at some point. So
that's cool that y'all were part of that.
Absolutely,
I love that. Cool.
So so you guys you're going. Really quick, I know we've been talking about all.
Maybe we drink some beer,
and everything, but
we just got excited about the history. Let's start drinking, y'all.
It's like,
it's about time.
What'd y'all bring
Bongo's
today?
favorite moment.
Tell us what's here.
Where do we start? I
One ounce at a time. That's where we start.
Very good.
Yes.
So we brought some of course, we needed to bring something special, and what we have special right now is the salted cherry sour Goza that we have. It's been the 4th year, maybe even did we even do it the first year we were open?
No, we didn't do it
so it's
first
the
year.
4th year that we've had it out, and it's very popular. Last year we did some variants on it. We did a passion fruit and a guava, and I think Bo's planning on doing some others too, but we always stay true to that tart cherry because it's just so good and in season and everything. So we brought some of that in bottles with this, I think the 2nd year we've put it in bottles. So we have it available in 4-packs to go. That'll be available in Walmart actually starting this weekend.
Way to go, guys. That's awesome.
It is, since it's a seasonal, it's limited. So, snatch it up when you can find it.
You know where I'm going after this.
You just roll by there.
Yeah.
We're good.
On my bike.
Yeah.
And we brought some Space Goose Hazy IPA, which is a new beer that we've been brewing. It's very well received.
Yeah.
It took a long time in development stages because we didn't really want to rush something, and we had to find a way to keep it hazy. So apparently it's really hard to keep a beer hazy. It's easy to make a hazy beer, but it's not easy to keep it that way. So
I want to hear about that.
It took us a while. We first tried it and we called it Bandwagon Hazy IPA because, we were just jumping on it.
Yeah.
And changed the name because we changed the recipe, but also because there's a million Bandwagon IPAs. It's a really good idea.
Yeah.
So
that's why it's a
bandwagon.
That's true. Yeah. Full circle.
Hey, good timing.
I got you on that
one. So we ended up nailing it finally. We got some really cool packaging really fast because we, like Lee said, we're working on our supply chain and really trying to build that retail presence. And when we saw what was happening with COVID, luckily we had some time to squeak in some orders. So the packaging's extra cool because one of our tap room attendants, she actually just moved back to Texas, so she's not with us anymore, but she drew the little goose one day just working behind the bar, and she was like, I made this for you guys.
How cool.
And it was so cute and derpy looking that we wanted to put it on the package.
Hashtag Derpy Goose.
Yep.
That's awesome. Well, I have intentionally, I think I mentioned it before we started, but I have intentionally avoided drinking the salted cherry until this episode because I knew it just got released about a week and a half ago, I think. Week and a half.
Yeah, last Monday.
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Yeah. So
Tuesday.
it's been a very short time, but I was really hoping.
Yeah, after a break.
We'll start with that after the break. Can't wait to get into them, but we're going to go ahead and cut to break really quick and we'll see you back here on Beyond the Tap.
Yeah, we're going to eat some snacks. You know we will.
From our sponsors. Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Brian. Welcome back to another segment of Sip of the Show, here with Andy from Devil's River Whiskey, bringing the Sip of the Show segment to you.
I thought we'd do some more classic cocktails.
Yeah, what do you got?
Let's do a Corpse Reviver number 2. Corpse Reviver number 2.
I gotta make sure we get that right.
Yeah, that's fair, because there is more than one, and it's a mouthful. So this is one of my favorites. It's a little more involved than everything else that we're doing, but I know we've got people out there in the world that have fully stocked bars. You can make this. It's got a little more ingredients than most of the ones that we're doing in this series, but it's really simple. It's super refreshing. It's got a good punch to it, and it's a throwback. This is actually available as far as a recipe goes in the Savoy cocktail book, which was written in the 30s. It's an old school. So we're going to start off with an ounce of lemon juice, which I've already squeezed out into my jigger here. 1 ounce of lemon juice into a shaker tin. This is a shake and drink. It's equal parts lemon juice, dry gin. So another ounce of dry gin going into the shaker tin. 1 ounce of Cointreau orange liqueur. I say that brand specifically because every other brand doesn't quite hit the mark. I've tried it with other orange liqueurs and it doesn't fit. That's the only one that's worth making this cocktail with. Blanc Vermouth. Handful of brands out there. Pick the one that's best for you or play with different ones. Find what you like. 1 ounce into the shaker tin. So we've got gin, orange liqueur, Blanc Vermouth, lemon juice. You're going to add ice to your tin. We've got a coupe or a martini glass with ice chilling on the side while we shake this, and that's going to get some special attention in just a second, but give this a good hard shake. Now quickly, because as long as that's sitting in ice, it's going to dilute, dump the ice out of your coupe glass. And this is where some absinthe is going to come in. You need to add just a little bit of absinthe to the bottom of your glass, and I do mean just a little bit. All you're trying to do is rinse the inside of the glass out with absinthe. You want the smell of absinthe more than the taste, and that really doesn't take too much in the glass to accomplish. Just turn your glass around, coat the inside of the glass with the absinthe, and then dump it all out. And if you have a tea strainer, or a fine mesh strainer, it's always good to pass shaken drinks through that after you strain it with your Hawthorne strainer, but it's not necessary at the house. It makes for a better presentation, it catches the finer chips, but it's not that big of a deal. And then garnish on the Corpse Reviver number 2 is generally a cherry. Makes a great garnish if you got cherries laying around, but if you don't, and you do have some lemons, just grab a lemon in your vegetable peeler and get a big, healthy swath of lemon that's pretty, because the ones that I'm doing right now are not.
That's the joys of doing
that. Yeah. And that's the thing, is like I've done this for 14 years, and you guys, this might be the first time you've ever tried to make one of these at the house. You're gonna screw up, it's fine. Don't give yourself all this pressure or stress. It's part of the fun of learning how to do it. Express your lemon peel over the top of the drink, rim the drink with it. If you want to get real nerdy like I really want to, my OCD was kicking in.
Go for it.
Yeah, clean it up a little bit. It just looks prettier when you clean your garnish up. All those rough edges that the vegetable peeler tends to leave aren't as pretty when you're entertaining or if you're at the bar. But yeah, Corpse Reviver number 2. Cheers.
All right, so if you like what you're hearing here on Beyond the Tap, make sure and head over to YouTube and subscribe to us. Hit that little bell so you make sure and get the notifications every single time that we post a new episode here. It's really nice, right? What are you doing back here? And also, make sure and check us out on Apple iTunes podcast section. Subscribe to us there. And do you know we're also on Spotify?
Yes.
There's nothing in there yet, but that's okay. So check us out. If you really, really like what you're hearing here, then you want to head over to patreon.com, and you can actually contribute to the show and making this the awesome success that it clearly already is. And throw a few bucks at us. You can earn some cool perks along the way. Visit patreon.com/beyondthetap today to check out more.
And to some of my friends who, bucks may not come so quickly to you, feel free to subscribe to us. That's important to us as well. Or review us. Give us 5 stars. You think we're 5 stars? I think we're 5 stars.
I think so.
And that's just as important. So follow us. Stay tuned. There's a lot coming your way.
True story. See you next time
Beyond
on Beyond
the Tap.
Well, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the sip of the show there, brought to you by our friends over at Devil's River Whiskey. Sup, Andy? How you doing, bro?
Yeah.
Hey,
and
I tell you, they got that, and that drink sounds delicious. I am looking forward to making one of those very soon.
Oh, Andy's, yeah.
The one we just heard.
I made my own on my break.
Yeah, clearly. But no, we're back here in the studio with Bentonville Brewing, and we got Lee and Katie. Welcome back.
What up?
We're glad to have y'all here.
Yeah, we're all full-bellied now. We're ready to go.
Yeah, you'll notice if you're watching us on YouTube, there is no more food on our bar.
It's gone.
Because we ate it.
Because we ate it all.
Yeah, it goes very easily there.
Yeah.
And what y'all think of that? That was from Seth over at Growler's Uptown Kitchen and Tap House over here in Rogers.
Yes, it was great.
They make everything fresh in-house. What was it? I think he said literally there's only like 1 or 2 tiny things on their menu, like a fries or something that are not totally made from scratch right there on site. All their sauces and everything. So yeah, it's amazing.
We barely talked for 5 minutes because we were all scarfing.
I know, it was very silent in here.
It was like a slider eating contest.
The salad was so good.
The Cobb salad and that ranch.
Very fresh.
Don't you put that salad in the corner?
Fresh.
That was good.
Yeah. Don't you put that salad in the corner.
Don't put baby spinach in the corner.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, you know what? We don't put corners now.
Thank you.
That was really good.
All right.
Now we're excited for that.
Yeah. So if you want it, let's go ahead and break open that salted cherry. What'd you call it?
I call it, is what I say, cross-eyed cherry town of craziness.
Sure.
De La Hoya.
Let's do that one. So this is the salted cherry Sourgosa, right? And this is, you said, 4th year that you guys have made this. And it's quickly become a staple for y'all, right?
Yeah, we make it every summer.
Now, is it made the same way every time? Or you mentioned a while ago, like, there was kind of an experimental, was it last year? With the different flavor, or was it the salted cherries the same, and then you're also doing the...
Yeah, it was the same, but we also added a couple, like with that same kettle sour method that Bo uses. He did a guava and a passion fruit.
All right.
You can get one of those bottles for us, Lee. Come on now.
Y'all drink with us. It's weird if we drink by
Bongo's
ourselves.
in it.
Please pass the sour.
No, that's delicious.
Delicious, yeah. It is so
Jinx.
perfect. I know.
You
So
don't
the
have beer.
only real thing that I think, and Bo is an awesome brewer, but he's kind of shy, so he's not here today to answer our technical questions.
Good job, Bo.
But I know that this year he put it through a plate filter, so it's more clear and brilliant looking than you would have seen in years past, where it was a little more opaque.
Yeah.
But there's not really much that's changed with the recipe at all.
This is almost for those of you who can't see it, it's almost a cidery looking drink.
I was about to say that.
It's very rosy in color.
It's beautiful.
And not only is it beautiful, it is quite tasty.
Yeah.
So
perfect for this time of year, I think, too.
Yeah.
How long does it take y'all? So, we have some science nerds out there. How long does it take y'all to craft one of these? Like, is this a long process? I would assume it is.
It is a little bit longer than the typical beer because we do kettle sour it. So just the brew day in general is a little bit longer.
What does kettle sour mean?
Lee, you want to answer that?
I can.
Because I will
thank God.
answer it.
Because we're like, are you throwing Skittles in there? What's going on?
I'll answer it and sound really confident, but I really won't know what I'm talking about.
it's not like college vodka, just so you know. We don't throw Skittles in this one. So
no Skittles.
Oh yeah.
We actually had to dump our first batch of this year. That's the first time we'd ever had to do it.
Really?
Yeah.
We got an extra bacteria in there, and we walked in the brew house and it smelled like stomach acid, vomit.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
It was a very unpleasant smell. It doesn't smell great anyway when you're souring it, but
it's a bat. A bat did it.
Yeah, it's all a bat from China.
Dang it.
Screwed it up. Anyway, we put lactose bacillus in it. It's a bacteria.
Okay.
It's actually found on our grain and other places in the brewery, but we actually buy the bacteria.
Yeah.
And we put it,
farmer.
willingly into our beer.
You intentionally put it in there.
Yeah, we
introduce
intentionally to cause this souring.
Yeah.
And
because it affects the yeast strain.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
as we love to talk about yeast strains.
We had a friend of ours come on the show and tell us that whenever he says yeast strain, people think he's saying G string.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's an inside joke now. But sour, so like this process.
True story.
Yeah, you gotta watch it.
Little southern
it's not out
quick
yet.
speak there. Yeah.
He's like yeast strain. But
Yeast strain.
yeah, wait. So again, for our science people, I love hearing about this process. So it's not like sours, ciders, they're close siblings, right? Or is that process totally different? I mean, you're adding bacteria, you're talking bacteria farmers.
Yeah, well, typically they're not putting bacteria in the cider. I mean, there may be some sour ciders out there.
Different yeast.
Yeah,
It's
different,
not more of like a wine yeast, but not quite.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is interesting.
But what we do, our process is one of the first steps in making beer is you do a mash. You crack your grain, you put the you soak it in your mash tun, you extract the sugars. And once we do that, we move it over into the boil kettle. We've changed it a little bit. We have to cool it down a little bit so that we can actually pitch the bacteria into it.
Okay.
But we never bring it to a boil. It's just the mash. And so normally you just boil the beer after that and you throw in your hops and you're good to go. Well, with us, after we mash it, we cool it down, and then we introduce the bacteria and we let it sit. We'll do this like on a Friday. Okay. And we'll let it sit through the weekend. Then they come in on like Monday morning, they turn it on the boiler. Okay. And they raise it to boiling, and then at that point in time, they kill the bacteria. Okay. Now, some breweries, like you go to New Belgium in Colorado, they have a souring program where they actually sour the beer after it's been made.
More of a mixed fermentation style of a thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they'll do it. Can do it in the fermentation process.
Our yeast and bacteria aren't alive together in the same vessel.
Yeah.
That's what a kettle sour
But you almost need another brewery to do that, and all new equipment, like different hoses, pumps, because you might have all sour beer. So that's why small breweries like us,
because it could affect everything.
Yeah, it affect everything. So small breweries like us just do like kettle sours, so that we don't have everything become sour beer. Like if you go to New Belgium, they have. It's not in a different brewery, but the room is different totally HVAC system, different brewing system, different hoses, pumps, bottling, canning. Like they don't.
The last place you go on the tour because they don't want you in the rest of the brewery after you've been in that room. It's pretty.
No, absolutely.
It's pretty separate.
Well, and it's funny you say that because our friends over at Ivory Bill over in Siloam, I know they have a very closed room there. And a while back, I was fortunate enough to be. He said I was one of a handful, literal, like 5 or less people that have been inside that room, which I thought was unbelievable. But yeah, they protect it very well because their yeast strain is exceptionally, like it's like 150 years old. So now you're talking about yeast strains and your bacteria and stuff. You're intentionally introducing certain bacteria in. Is this like, for the folks who are listening or have no clue, is this the same type of a process of like a bacteria in yogurt or something like that? It's similar as far as just for changing the structure of it, or where does that? Do you have an answer for that one? I'm seeing a look right now. So
I feel like it is similar to that of yogurt. One thing that some breweries will do is actually like pitch yogurt into their mash.
Really?
And the first time that we did this salted cherry sour, we did a true kettle sour where what Lee had said, you start on a Friday, you do your mash, and then you kind of just chill instead of starting your boil immediately. Bo threw a couple handfuls of grain in there, and that's how we introduce the bacteria, and that works, but you don't get a consistent product. So you have to keep testing that pH, and you can put the brakes on, but you still can't immediately stop on a dime. So that's why we moved to buying the lacto and introducing it in a very measured way so that we could be sure about what the results were going to be every time. It wasn't going to be like, oh, that 2017 version was awesome, but the 2018 was super sour. So, that was the change that we made pretty quick. It was fun to do it. That's how it used to be done. Yeah. And that's how it's accidentally done now. If you accidentally do it.
So awesome. It's a good bacteria though that you're introducing. Like it's, like you said, it's been intentional. So you're able to control.
Good bacteria or bad bacteria?
Well, it all depends on
how you look at things.
Yeah, how it tastes. Like Lee said, we had to dump the first one we did in the new facility because something else got in there, and sometimes that new thing can be a fun, cool flavor, and a lot of the time it's not.
Okay, great. Did anyone taste the Bad Batch?
Oh no,
no.
You could just smell it.
It was bad.
Lee's staying silent over there. Did you taste it?
There like,
I wasn't there when they
oh, okay, all right.
It never got heated up. We just immediately after we did the mash, introduced the bacteria. It smelled so bad. We're like, it's
I'm the weirdo that I would totally
taste it.
Tasted it. I mean, like,
well, they're gonna call you
because
Why
it's gonna
not?
taste like you.
Yeah, call me. Call me. I'll come down. Why not? Just give me a fresh beer after that to rinse out.
I think a lot of breweries are gonna be calling you now. Be like, come on over, Brian.
Let's get Brian to taste the skunk beer.
We got something weird going on.
No, that's great.
I love that. That's a cool. So it's not a long process to make these.
Well, the brewing, technically, your regular brew process for our new system would be about 5 hours from start to finish without the cleaning.
Yeah,
that's not counting the fermenting. So with this one, you would start, instead of it being 5 hours, you would just let that go throughout the weekend.
Yeah.
Then you'd bring it to a boil, and then you would send it to a fermenter. And it does ferment. It's not the quickest fermenting beer, but it's not it doesn't take a long time like a lager does, or even I think it's a little
about 3
faster than our
weeks.
porter.
Okay.
I think from grain to glass, it's about 3 weeks.
Yeah. Well, and I was going to say, you guys have, in upgrading to the new facilities, you've upgraded your entire process as well, right? You guys are efficient, like massively more efficient.
Was that like Christmas?
Now.
You're like, yeah.
Well, not to toot our own horn, but with the tools we had, we were pretty efficient before. I mean, like from a brewing efficiency standpoint, what we got was efficient. But the amount of time it took to get that and the manual labor involved was pretty insane. Everything was, and it was kind of neat because it was very craft too. But it was instead of a 4-vessel system that we have now with bright tanks, we had a 3-vessel system.
We have 3 now, and we have 2.
Oh, okay. No, we got the whirlpool.
Oh, yeah.
Now we got the
like
whirlpool, the boiler, the mash tun, the hot liquor tank, the fermenter, and the bright tank.
I can't wait
to
do brewery
all
tours.
sorts of toys. But before, we had our mash tun, our boil kettle, and a fermenter. And we, clarified in the fermenter. And when we mashed in, we had this excellent monster mill that we would pour for home wrecker, it'd be like 500 pounds of grain
and
manually into this mill, which we had attached a drill to and duct taped the trigger down so that I could just keep running.
So it was totally an Arkansas establishment.
That's
absolutely.
Right.
Well,
y'all should
innovation.
Post a photo of that in black and white and put it on your wall.
Hide it in a Cracker Barrel.
Yes,
Put it on the
that
wall.
would be amazing.
And
that's so cool. Ideas.
And we would do that, and then sometimes it would be me. If it was a double brew day, Bo would come in really early. I'd meet him there at 6 a.m., park the stroller with the kid in it, and then I'd hold up the trash can and slowly pour in the grain while he paddled it and mixed it. And it had to be done consistently so you didn't get clumps or dough balls or anything like that. And now we have a super big mill and an auger, and it does all that by itself. It goes way up and then drops it in. It's so nice.
I love the enthusiasm. I think because when you I think the way things happen, it's like you put in all this hard work, all this elbow grease, and you make do with what you have, and then you get that little upgrade, and it's like then you appreciate what you did more. I feel like that makes a beer better.
I'm going to go back really quick and ask, dough ball?
Dough ball.
What's a dough ball?
Cookie dough balls.
You're cracking. So that's one of the things that you can get really good efficiency out with brewing is really dialing in how you mill your grain. So like Lee had said, you don't grind it, you crack it because you want to get a lot of surface area to wash off all the sugar and color and flavor from the malt, but you don't want to get too small pieces, because when you take flour or grain or whatever, and you grind it too much, you get flour. You mix it with water, and you get a dough ball. So if you have too much dust, or you grind it too small, or you let it clump in that water, it'll kind of congeal and get a little mass. So you want to keep that moving and agitated so that the most water can wash over each and every piece.
Okay.
That's way cool. That's something new that we learned.
So beer dumplings. Great.
Yeah, I feel like y'all should make that some kind of snack.
Could you sell that to the burger in there?
Who?
The
Burger.
The grill, burger.
Oh yeah, there's a restaurant inside.
Yeah, we forgot to talk about that.
Wait, y'all have a restaurant?
They have a restaurant in there.
We don't have a restaurant.
Well,
no, okay, the burger. I feel like we're talking like Boomhauer now. Everybody,
it's more like the Swedish chef.
Yes.
It's like
Okay, this is the best. Shout out to you. So that got weird.
Am I
Sorry.
saying it correctly though? Burger.
Yeah, it's Burgder.
Spell it.
Gastropub.
Please spell it.
BURG space DER space.
Burger.
Gastropub.
Gastropub.
Oh, it's a good old.
Which is a made up word. It's not a real.
Okay, I'm like, is this
Gastropub is
German?
not. It's a like.
Is it a derpy gastropub?
Well, I think they're trying to just play on words with a German themed gastropub.
Yeah.
Is kind of what's going on there. It's the group from Tuscan Trotter, Chef Rob.
Okay.
He's
All right.
the one that's behind it.
Everything
and,
he makes is gold.
Yes.
Yeah, so he's the one that developed the menu.
Life.
And, we're lucky to have him there. It's actually really helped us open up early too.
Oh, yeah.
Like a lot of tap rooms couldn't open up because they didn't have food. We did.
Yeah.
But the concept is it's a food truck inside the building. They have a
That's
roll
cool.
like literally a roll up window and a
Yeah.
sliding window on the outside of the building. You walk up, you order. They'll
Yeah.
text you when your food's ready. You go pick it up.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
I had no idea that was Chef Rob. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I was just at
You
Tuscan
gotta get in
Trotter,
there.
and that Ozark, Arkansas Cuban is my favorite. Just looking at you, but
Yeah.
that sounds awesome. So, yeah, this place is this place. I'm just gonna live there. It sounds like.
So, is there anything, you mentioned obviously upgrading some equipment and things like that. Is there a beer that you couldn't do in your old facility that
yeah.
you can do now in your new facility? Whether that's a speed thing or anything else, or has it opened any new avenues for you?
Oh, we're
Almost
making
anything
speed?
besides our
No.
packaged beer.
Well, there's some things we can do with some step mashing that we haven't done yet. So,
Okay.
I mean, yes, the new system will allow us to do some things we've not done before, but the space is allowing us to do some things, and the size of the system. Like we're doing our first full barrel aged stout. We did one small barrel that we have that's about to be released here probably in July.
Yeah, around the 4th.
We did when we did our groundbreaking. And
Okay.
we're going to invite everybody that was at the groundbreaking for the first couple of hours. So it may be gone by the time they're done with it. But
Yeah, yeah.
I think we've got 60 gallons of it, something like that. But now we just put 53-gallon barrels. We just did 8 of them, I believe, with the stout in it. So that's
Well,
really great.
We also, with that same base beer, the Deliverance, our Imperial Stout, I saw the Apple Brandy folks were
Yes,
here.
Macon and Carson. We had them here.
Yes. So they actually gave us 2 small Apple Brandy barrels.
Yep,
we
the white oak
put a
ones.
little bit into that too.
For the
they actually
stout?
came here right afterwards.
Nice. Okay.
If I recall.
Awesome.
Very
Yes.
cool. I was
Wait,
going to
so-
ask,
yeah.
that you mentioned they're in barrels. The stout is in barrels. Was that is that with them? Is that with a different local? Whose barrels?
Oh.
I think
Are you able to
we're
say?
not sure what barrels they are.
That's okay.
They may be Four Roses. We got them. Actually, one of our taproom managers, Steve Goodman,
Yes.
had a contact, and we got some very, very affordable fresh barrels out of Kentucky.
That's awesome.
Oh, nice.
And
You can trust that.
The
Yeah.
racks. So we had somebody from Kentucky call his buddy. He also used to work at Jim Beam.
You can also trust that.
So, so anyway, he called somebody he knew that had some barrels, and we were able to get a very, very good price on them. So
That's
we're
so cool.
really excited about that.
We need to do a cheers just to the white oak tree because of them we're all here.
I can't cheers right now.
I know, me neither. I drink it so
Oh, bad
fast.
luck.
I know it's too
Which it
delicious.
was so good.
So
I could get you guys some Space Goose.
Let's
Yeah.
talk about that
I'm
one.
ready for that derpy goose.
The Derpigers.
So cute.
We need to do a close up on that.
Can we do another beer at some point? Just a spin off of this one and just call it the Derpigers? That'd be
the
great.
derpy goose?
The Derpy
From-
Grouse.
We can probably work something out.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's
It's like a
awesome.
baby version.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I love that.
I'll, get it.
Oh, fantastic! No, this is great. I love
Yeah.
hearing about that, and it's really cool to see the things you guys are doing. You mentioned, I would imagine the whirlpool has something to do with clarifying this. You said it was a little more hazy right before,
It's just a perk of the job.
Yeah.
The whirlpool. No, it's a way. So when you move from the mash tun before you, thank you.
yeah, it's okay.
Weapons are being used.
The mash tun,
Those are
it goes into the whirlpool, and what it does is I'm gonna have to use my hands, and you're gonna have to open this because I
Hey,
have to describe a
that
whirlpool.
That growler just
so
says
it
we're ready to party.
spins,
Yeah,
and all the hot matter and any particulates that are
Yeah.
still in the liquid, they sink to the bottom when
Yeah.
you whirlpool it, and then there's an out port on the side, and so
Okay.
that's how we draw it out, and that's how we can keep any matter out of the liquid that's
awesome.
going to move into
That
the
sounds
next vessel.
fancy. All right, so you brought the growler out, which means it's party time.
True story.
I see in Lee's eyes, he's ready.
Yeah.
And I remember you talking about hazy awesomeness, and I want to know about that process.
Yeah.
I'm the science nerd today. I'm like, tell me about yeast strains.
It's usually me asking.
I know.
All that,
I feel like we're the same person. God,
well, we are wearing the same green.
You ruined my joke.
We always finish each other's
There's hamburgers.
sandwiches.
Oh. Okay, tell us about that hazy awesomeness.
Hey.
Me? Yeah, all right, whoever wants.
Whoever.
Hey,
So-
3, 2, 1, go.
So, this is our hazy IPA. I like to make the joke that it's like Hansel because it's so hot right now.
Oh, hell
So hot right now.
Because we're unintentionally kind of known as an IPA brewery. Our home ship, or our home ship.
Hell yeah.
Our home record
ship.
is our flagship beer.
So
Yeah.
yummy.
And we make the little record too, so that you can enjoy a nice bold IPA from your grocery store.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to explore this new style, which is kind of controversial in the beer world because there's like the people who think
the
that
purists,
beer needs to be clear and brilliant and bright, and then there's the folks who are like, but it sells and it tastes so good.
Yeah, I'm
yummy.
a hazy. I'm on team hazy.
Well, you try some really good ones.
Yeah.
Like there's some really good ones out there. So we were going to try it out, and it was a lot harder to make than to get it right. Like we were talking earlier, to get that haze to stay long term and not to drop out, because like it'd be hazy, but then 4 days later it would just be like a normal IPA.
Yeah.
So
did you figure out what it was?
Was it witchcraft?
Yeah. Voodoo?
I don't know. Still, it just works better. But with this beer, we have kind of pulled back some of the packaging of it because we are very committed to quality and consistency.
Yeah.
And once we let our beer out into the wild, we can't control it anymore.
Yeah.
So when you get it from wherever you're getting it from, your favorite local liquor store, and you take it home, and then you maybe like put it in your fridge for like 3 weeks, and you don't drink it because you're a hoarder or a collector,
I know
depending
people
how
like
you
that.
look at it.
I'm like, drink it when you get it.
And with IPAs, I'm always trying to tell people to drink it when you get it.
Yeah.
Because that's just the way you should do it with
Totally.
IPAs. But
All beers.
in general, this is one that you need to drink really fast. And also, it can't go for a long ride and not like we've had family travel. I have lots of family members are very committed to the brand. So they bring like
7
coolers
days
and
and 7 nights.
coolers home
That's
with
awesome.
them. And this beer, if you store it warm, it's not good. So we're trying to go back to the drawing board and do some tests and see exactly what we can do to make it not so finicky. We want it to be, ready to be a part of your life however you want. If you want to take it for a long hot car ride, girl,
do
go
you,
it.
girl?
But
I
right now,
maybe
it's not
this
a good idea.
works with the demand, because things that are finicky are usually finessed and awesome, and so it's kind of like, I don't know, maybe y'all could work with that because I mean, and I've already, my friend teased me and had one of these and at dinner, and I was like, oh, I'd like to have one, sir, can I have one? And he's like, I don't have any more. I was pissed. Joab,
waiting for you to get here to
Joab,
drink the last
you're
bottle.
canceled.
Yeah. Well, and you mentioned hazy. It's definitely got that great haze to it.
Yeah.
You can still see a little extra light coming through, but it's not.
Well, does light pollution play into that too?
Yeah.
Oh, it definitely can, for sure.
It can. We haven't noticed that it can. Well, we haven't isolated it to just light exposure.
Okay. Yeah.
It's pretty much because we have we've got a cooler behind the bar.
A huge
It's got
cooler.
a light in, or that's the walk-in. That one's like the biggest.
Gotcha.
But the we got a nice little two-door behind the bar, and it's got LED lights in it, and technically it's lighted during the day.
Yeah.
And I mean, not that this beer stays in that cooler for a very long time because it's popular and it goes really fast. But we've done some tests, like let's leave it.
I want to be
out
that
and
scientist for y'all. I want to be like, all right, now let's isolate this issue and let's move on to this.
You just want to drink a lot.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Like, hold on. I'm just kidding.
You remind me of that guy off the old Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Where he's like,
No.
all right. But no, is it? So you mentioned this is kind of exploratory for y'all. Is anyone else out there that you are personally acquainted with. I mean, I know a couple of other hazy IPAs out there, but is there anyone that you guys have kind of worked with or bounced the ideas off of like, hey, why is this, why is this a little weird sometimes? Or
I don't know.
I think we had an issue with the packaging. Actually, we don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, there's something on the line that day or something when we did our.
It was an isolated event then.
Yeah.
So far, we think,
Good.
but we don't know.
Yeah.
And so we pulled some of that back, but it's done great in kegs.
Yeah.
But I don't think it'll ever do well because of the style of beer if you get it hot.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a beer that if
You nailed it on this one. I'll say that.
Yeah.
This is delicious.
You have to keep it cold. I think the hazies in general are kind of known for that.
Yeah.
Being a problem. And IPAs in general are known. You got to drink them fresh. I mean, within the first 3 or 4 weeks, really, to get your best representation.
Yeah.
Because the hops, the flavor and the aromas will kind of dissipate over time.
Yeah.
But there's some beers that do better over time and do well in the bottle, like our porter.
Okay.
It does. I like it better.
What makes that one good?
It's just a normal porter. We tried to, when we were first, one of the first beers we ever did and came up with, this is going to be one of our flagship beers or staple beers that we keep full time, because it actually helped us out when we first started because nobody really in the market had a porter.
Okay.
We would go into a new account we were trying to get, and we're like, we've got an IPA. They're like, I've got 5 IPAs, but I don't have a porter.
Yeah.
And so that got to be a staple of ours. And it's not one of the top selling beers. Porters are just typically not, your fastest moving. They're not as popular as IPAs, but it's probably one of our best beers to style that we have. And
it's a delicious.
It's a robust, it's a strong, it's almost a stout, but it's not quite a stout.
Yeah.
Stout yet. And,
well, I was just going to say, for our new listeners who are maybe exploring beer more, what's the difference between, say, an IPA and a porter as far as is there a difference in how it's made? Is there a difference in, the build of it or whatever? What's some of the key points if you are a fresh newbie and explaining the difference between,
fresh
what's a porter?
newborn beer drinker.
Yeah. You're like a baby.
Yeah.
well, it's a much darker beer. It's really kind of a cross between a pale ale and a stout.
Okay.
That's what the original, I believe, porter style is supposed to be. But it's kind of, where is the line? We don't really know for sure these days with beers between a porter and a stout. But it's a little lighter than a stout. It'd be the best way I can explain it to somebody. But it's more.
Is it more bitter or is it more
a malty beer?
Malty
Than a hoppy beer. Like your IPAs are very hop forward. This is more about your malt bill.
Okay.
Than the hops that are in it.
Yeah, you get the dark color and the stronger flavors from a more darkly roasted malt. So you roast it a lot longer to get a darker color and some more. You get a little bit more bitterness from the malt itself too. So even the bitter that you do get, it's really not a lot from the hops. It's from how they roast that malt. And like Lee was saying, with modern brewing, especially in America, the line between porters and stouts are very blurry, and it really just kind of, the way that if you go back, how a stout was created was because they made porter a higher alcohol content, and then people would say, give me that stout porter, and then they got sick of saying that because they were drinking stout, and they said, just give me a stout.
Gotcha.
And that's kind of how it went. So ours would follow more of the, like he said, the robust porter category, where it's a little darker, it's a little more flavorful, because you can have some that are a little closer to a brown ale in style than what this one is. But it was my favorite forever.
I love that.
Yeah.
So let's really quick. I know you mentioned a little more alcohol content, things like that. What's so like on your salted cherry? What's the percentage on that? Do you know?
It's 4.1.
I think it's 4.5.
Nope.
4.1.
Oh, that's really not bad. I feel like sometimes sours knock me off my ass. Maybe
Yeah,
it's
I'm
not the
just gonna
sugar
do that
content.
one for you there. So,
Yeah.
but and then okay. So let's go to the Space Goose. What's that beer at?
6.3, and I'm looking at it on the packaging right
You got a
here.
6.2. I'm seeing here on this porter. So
It's a good.
those are pretty good beers right there.
Yeah.
Bongo, you feeling good?
Yeah, no, what is it? One of our producers' mom watched one of our old episodes and was
Hey-o.
like, Bianca looks a little drunk.
A little toasty.
Sometimes that happens, y'all. We're
Toasty
tasting
some.
things. No, I feel
Yeah.
great right now, though.
That's good.
I'm happy because these are some of my favorite
Absolutely.
kind of beers,
Yeah, this is great because I love hearing how you guys have figured out the different processes, and again, I'm still newer to things like porters, so I know nothing about porters. So I love being able to grow on that, and
I feel like I order porters. When it's kind of getting chilly outside. I try to lean into that, like those and stouts.
Sales definitely pick up in the fall with the porter. Yeah. This is more for us, like our Kolsch season is doing really well right now.
Yeah, yep.
It's a lighter, crisper beer for summertime.
Hell yeah, crushable.
Can
we try that?
Absolutely.
Wait, should I finish? I don't want to rush.
You don't have to finish anything. You just go right in between. Yeah, I can just hand you the bottle and you can
just give me that bottle.
Drink like a lady.
Yeah, I'm drinking like a. She look like a lady. Or what's that song? Dude looks like a lady. There's two songs that I just confused. I love that. Just
is this gonna be your first porter? Sure. Is just like your
no. I've actually had a couple, but it's definitely not my. Overall I do. My taste has definitely changed over the years. I didn't like darker beers at first, and now I'm definitely getting into that. IPAs have also grown on me.
Yeah, I think IPAs grow on everyone. You're like, what the hell at first?
And when your first exposure as majority, I think we mentioned in our first episode, is all your domestics,
it's water,
your lagers and things. Then it's hey now, what's up? But it's definitely a very kind of a lower.
It's a
punch,
spectrum,
and so like with this, with porters, with stouts, IPAs. It's definitely a different flavor. And so if you go from, say, something like a major domestic like Budweiser or Miller or things like that, and you head straight into a porter, then it's a punch in the mouth.
No, definitely.
I found that like at beer festivals, the color is what really like freaks people out from trying it. So I've actually had some people who were I like give it to them blind, and I'm like, just drink it, just don't even look, and they love it. And then all of a sudden they're like, now I like dark beers. Dang it!
I think people feel like they have to be on teams, and I'm always my favorite thing, especially with like ladies beer club, is that women are always like, I mean, I like these, but I don't know about these. Or even men too. Men are like, I don't know if I like this. And I'm like, man, you just got to try it. And there's like a beer for everyone. But I think that's a good idea. It's like, don't let your internal biases get you. Like, just because you don't think you drink IPAs doesn't mean you haven't found one that you liked, you know?
Sure.
That's exactly
like, speaking of beers and, like, beginnings, we love to talk about this, but maybe what was the first beer that y'all made? Or, you know, like, what's the aspiration? Like,
what was in the carport?
Yeah, what was in the bathtub under the carport in Missouri? No, I'm just kidding.
Was it a Hefeweizen?
Well, it was Bella Vista.
Oh, okay.
Bella Vista.
It's very
close enough. But, we had the early developments of most of the recipes we have now, but we changed them, of course. Yeah. From the garage days, but we were working on a porter IPA, and like I said, I think porter was part of our identity when we first started talking about the brewery, but just because it was something in our market that wasn't being done.
Yeah,
and so that's
cool.
That was one we worked on. The IPA, we had a Belgian wit, that we don't do anymore, and one of the reasons was a quality issue, but it wasn't a real quality. It was perceived by the public because we were not keeping it hazy. When you'd first get the beer
or it was hazy and it looked weird.
Yeah, well, it was. Yeah, it was real. It should be hazy like a Shock Top or the commercial versions of those type of Belgian Blue Moon, Belgian wit. But we didn't know a whole lot back then. We also didn't know how to keep it suspended. Yeah, the proteins in there that make it look hazy.
Okay,
and that's what's going on. But anyway, so what would happen? Well, you'd get a keg of it, and by the end of it, it'd be clear. It'd be hazy in the beginning, clear at the end. Yeah. And then they get a new keg and they'd be like, well, it's hazy now. Something's wrong with it. It tastes the same. It's the same beer. It's just it clears up over time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we quit making it because we got tired of the quality perceived issues with it. And so we stopped. Now it will be released again here in the tap room.
It already was on Tuesday.
Oh, Tuesday.
Tuesday.
It's back out.
Hey, did you hear that, y'all?
It's a slightly different recipe. I mean, we tweaked it, made it better as everything that we do. And it's back as the Water Tower Wit.
Oh, okay.
Really? That's a good name.
We thought about renaming it West Fingers.
That was my idea.
Fork and then, True Detective and stuff. So
that's awesome.
Like it.
But I didn't win. That was my
fingers in your beer doesn't sound great. So
I think one of my favorites recently that tell me if you guys still have this in tap room or not. But the Old Fort. Was it Old Fort Locker?
We don't have it in the tap room right now, but it's something that pops up a lot. And that's a really cool story, actually. Yeah. So I'm glad you brought it up because we talked about First National Bank of NWA.
Love them.
Yeah, they're
Maggie,
so
hey.
cool.
What's up?
What up? Yeah. They, how did it, I think we got a message on Facebook and they said, like, hey, we want to name a beer.
She said no. They wanted to name the Kolsch is what they wanted to do.
Yeah. I don't want to. That's like the best part of the job.
You probably
getting to name beer.
Yeah. You probably responded like my wife. That's an option. Yeah.
What a good idea. We'll think about that. No, so Lee was like, let me just sit down and see what's up.
Yeah. Well, we didn't know who it was even. Yeah. Like, I was like, just give them my phone number. I want to find out why they want to name a beer.
Yeah.
The market president for F&B calls me Rob Hesong and is like, we'd like to name this beer, blah, blah. And we talk a little bit. And I'm like, he didn't realize it in the back of my mind. I'm like, I like to borrow money, so we're playing. I don't really like to. I need to.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be more
full disclosure.
We all like that.
So I'm like, well, we could figure something out. And they're actually First National Bank of Fort Smith.
Oh, okay, cool.
And they were founded in 1872 in Fort Smith. Yeah. That's the old Fort Lager.
Yeah.
We had some other good names for it, like Overdraft.
That would have been hilarious.
Yes. I liked effing beer best.
Effing beer.
Hey, these things need to come out. Y'all just keep rolling those out. Overdraft, this is a $35 beer.
Yes. That would be amazing.
Can you get away?
That's just the second one. First one's free, second one's $35.
Exactly. Yeah, growlers.
If you have more than 3 in a month's time, then we just kick you out.
We're going to ding your credit score like a mother.
But,
awesome.
well, I will.
It's turned into a charity beer, though.
That's awesome.
Where we make the beer and they buy it at wholesale cost from us, and then we turn around and sell the beer and we donate that to different charities.
That's way
historically,
cool.
yeah,
absolutely.
I love that.
Yeah, last year when we did it, we had a contest between local businesses. Growler participated, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
So did Old Chicago, Beef O'Brady's, and I think there were some others, Bentonville Butcher and Pint at the time. So it was who could sell the most of this charity beer and really talk it up. And each restaurant got to pick a charity that they wanted to support. And whoever sold the most, all the money from all the beer was going to go to that charity. Yeah. And I
love sales.
I think it all went to the Children's Advocacy Center.
Oh, wonderful group.
Yeah,
wonderful
really
group.
Stuff. That's cool. I hope y'all that's creative.
Yeah.
That's just, and it's fun. I would love to be a bartender and be like, you want to know about this beer?
Well, and we've talked about that, really quick. I think one thing we didn't talk about in the very beginning was, now, did y'all both grow up around here, or are you transplants, or
who are y'all?
I mean, we talked a lot about your backstory on beer, but I mean,
where y'all from?
I guess I'll start first, but I moved around a good bit, but I spent what I call my formative years living outside of a town called Greenville, Mississippi, and there's not a lot to do there.
Isn't that the music capital? Is that a blues capital?
There's a lot of blues.
Yeah.
Clarksville, all through there, Memphis. We're a couple hours south of Memphis. Anyway, Katie's husband was my best friend's little brother growing up.
Yeah. Oh wow!
And
that's so cool.
As you get older, you get the age. I think Bo's 38. I'm 43. So that's not much of a big difference anymore. But when you're 15 and he's 10, that's a bigger difference. But anyway, apparently I was nice to him when he was a kid. I wasn't mean.
He still thinks you're so cool.
Well, I mean, he's Lee. So
anyway, fast forward some years. He'd actually lived in Northwest Arkansas. Bo did. I've been here 21 years now. Or 20 years. I moved here in January of 2001. And because Bo's brother was living up here. Yeah. And he was in graduate school. I'd finished college and was looking for a job. I'm like, well, there's no jobs in Greenville, Mississippi, so I'll come to Northwest Arkansas. I've been up here fishing, canoeing, camping, and just really loved the area. Had a lot to offer, and it had jobs. So I came up and started.
Jobs are good. Yeah.
So the first job I got, I was waiting tables at Applebee's until I got to what's now my career in the mortgage business.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
Purple Ink Mortgage.
Yeah. Plug there. Little plug for my mortgage company. But
say it louder. Let everyone hear it.
Going to be buying a house next year, so let's do this.
Help me. That's awesome. That's cool.
That's what paid for my expensive hobby of beer.
Okay. All right.
Yes, thankful.
So you're Mississippi,
and then I moved up here, and then anyway, Bo had moved up here for a little bit too. He ended up living in Fort Collins, Colorado.
Okay.
Oh, fun.
And I told you, well, when I called him when I was thinking about this project, and he'd recently married Katie. I was at their wedding.
Good choice. I feel like
she's
that was a
from
good choice.
Rockford, Illinois. And so I went out to Rockford, went to the wedding, and I don't think she's probably doesn't regret it now, but she may have at some points meeting me.
I remember meeting Lee. He was sitting with Bo's brother outside of the hotel all the guests were staying at, offering to valet park people's cars for $10.
High five.
There may or may not have been a cocktail in his hand.
Hey, that's awesome. Hey,
I don't think anybody gave me their keys either. So.
hey, that's awesome. I'm going to try that the next wedding I go to.
Well, so the reason why I ask, where you guys were from, because, you're talking a lot about supporting local and things like that. And one of the biggest things is like, we love seeing that repeatedly in this. And so, one, you guys are transplants here, which is really awesome. And just seeing you set up your own business in Northwest Arkansas. I'm just going to flip that off. In Northwest Arkansas, I'm knocking a fly swatter off my table right now with my thumb.
That launched out of your side.
That was amazing.
That was crazy.
But yeah, so you're setting up your business here. What made you say, hey, Northwest Arkansas is the absolute best place to set this up? I mean, was it just the booming craft beer scene that you started kind of getting in on that front end of it, or was it, hey, we're just not moving anywhere else? I mean,
or you just ready to follow your passion?
Maybe for me, I wasn't going to move anywhere else.
Yeah.
But, when one of the first things you do with your first business partner is you name the company Bentonville Brewing Company.
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of options.
Well, why'd you choose Bentonville over, say,
we went to
Rogers,
Rogers,
Fayetteville,
so-
Springfield?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Bentonville Royers.
I think we were we really liked Bentonville, and we wanted to put a brewery in Bentonville, and we were trying to come up with the name. And Bentonville Brewing is 2 strong consonants. It's a strong name, and we thought
Sounds great.
but it also, there's pluses and minuses to it, but it's also been a key to our success. Well, I think the community of Bentonville
Lots of pride.
feels so invested in the brewery, and they feel it's part of. And we even, I think, touched on this a little bit earlier, but like our backyard space, our outdoor space is like everybody's backyard. You bring your dogs, you bring your kids can play.
Yeah.
And
You just randomly end up
safe.
talking to the people next to you that you didn't know
Totally.
before, but
Yeah.
you leave like your
Yeah.
kids are playing together and like you're having fun and
I love that.
And then you
Bentonville
don't have
way.
to, you don't have to mess up your own backyard.
Yeah.
And so
Exactly.
you come over and mess up ours, and we're okay with it.
Yeah.
Just be
just a little
respectful.
messed up though, not like a lot.
Not a lot.
And
It's
love it.
it's very tame. It's kid, like I said, kid and family friendly. And I think it's changed. I was talking to some the other day. The dynamics have changed a little bit about beer and alcohol, and like that. This is something you can do social and responsible, and you can have your kids and your family around. It's not dad going out to the bar on Thursday,
Yeah.
Friday, leaving the wife and kids at home to never be
bring
seen.
the whole family.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so that's
that.
it's great because there's other things where they have sodas and drinks and food and
The Berg has a kids menu.
kids,
Yeah.
we have like the different kids play areas. We'll probably usually offer more free things for kids. Probably summertime, maybe some ice cream bars here and there. And
I'm also
Cool.
8 years
Steve,
old.
Go buy
Hey, we
some
can get
ice
pedal
cream
pops up
bars.
here. I'm just saying.
I'm now 8.
Yep. Pedal pops
Yes, ma'am.
or Joy, Pure
I
Joy.
love that. Oh, yum.
yeah, we probably should reach
Pops.
out to them and have them like maybe put some in our brewery.
Yeah.
We've thought about it.
Yeah,
Just
we can do it, man.
Yeah.
we're
We know the
slowly.
guys.
Yeah.
Like I said, it takes a village earlier. It still takes time. There's
Oh,
so many
totally.
like things we want to do.
So many options.
It'll be a few years before we
Yeah.
get everything that we really want to do probably up and going.
I
Yeah.
think that's fun. I like waiting for like slow, new, fun things to celebrate. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll bring Ladies Beer Club to come hang out once we're allowed to hang out. So
Absolutely.
we'll come eat ice
Until
cream.
then, you can just like bring 9 others.
And we
sit
thought
at one
about it.
table.
We literally thought about that. We're like, maybe we could do like a small gathering.
Well,
of
if
Ladies
you
Beer
happen to
Club.
have a couple of y'all that brought 2 parties of 10 total,
Yeah,
and you
and
just
there's
sit
just-
at
we're
various
all at different
places,
tables.
you're good.
And then you
Go
can
ahead.
rotate chairs.
Yeah.
You can like swap people,
Oh my
like
God.
put a timer, like, okay, you're at this table for 10
Be like
minutes. and you
speed
move.
drinking.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like
Okay.
don't drink
Y'all.
fast because that's
That'd
not
be good.
responsible.
Expect
But,
that
like,
next month.
Make this happen.
I'm ready. So wait, I'm ready
So,
also to play
speaking
some
of games, yeah.
Speaking of,
Ooh.
uh-oh.
We can jump in. So
Woo!
we
Take
have
a
a
big
thing
gulp.
here. Bongo, you want to tell them what's up?
Yeah, basically we're gonna play a game. It's this really opens up your heart and soul to humility and laughter. It's called If You Had To.
Yeah.
And basically we're gonna put y'all on the spot. But y'all are gonna have an opportunity to choose to whether to put someone else on the spot whether it's Katie, Brian, myself, Lee, whoever. But basically, we give you 2 options, and you have to choose one of them. It's kind of like Cards of Humanity had a cousin, and it's called If You Had To.
Yeah.
But you should go first, because I went first last time.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
so
target who you want.
You know what? I'm just going to pull out all stops here and go, hey, Lee.
Let's all get Lee.
We're just going to break you right in.
Okay.
Well, and I think that's the other part is...
Ask me no questions, I'll tell you no lies. Okay?
All right, you ready for this? So it's only the heavy-hitting stuff in life. But, all right, so if you had to, which would you rather do here? Would you rather find out...
Zoom in on Lee's face.
Oh, dear.
Uh-oh. Not too close.
So, okay, if you had to, would you rather find out that all your friends and family are paid actors?
Okay.
Or would you rather carry a drunk leprechaun in a front-facing baby backpack wherever you go?
Cute,
Yeah.
though.
No, I think the
And he
no
has
brainer.
gold, so he could buy. Like,
Yeah, he
all
could
the-
buy all your beer.
Yeah, I'm all about the leprechaun.
All right. All right.
Sure.
What if he curses a lot?
Oh, even better.
Okay. All right. Great.
Oh, damn it.
Especially if he's drunk.
Make
Yeah.
everything that Lee says sound super tame.
Yeah, meet Patrick. That's a good one. Yeah, that's a really good
See?
one.
All right. These questions were also, again, brought to us
Yeah.
by our friend Seth over
yeah.
at Growlers Uptown.
Not only does he
Kitchen
make
Tap
great
House.
food and have an awesome selection of beer, he also has a great sense of humor.
He fits
Did
right
he
in.
write the cards himself?
Well, he chose them.
Don't put him on the spotlight.
We have a massive deck of cards over there.
Yeah, he did.
Huge
He
deck.
chose the best one. Huge. Oh my gosh. Okay, Katie, I'm coming at you.
Oh.
This one's funny though. I think
Don't
you'll
be
like
suspicious.
it. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Okay, so
I feel like I need to harmonize everything.
yeah, we should. We'll practice that before it ends. We're gonna do it one more
This is
time.
The worst.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so if you had to, would
Oh, dear.
Adele and T Swift? Who calls her that? Adele and T
I
Swift.
do.
Swifty.
We're buddies.
Adele, I feel like I'm becoming a boomer. Someone stop me. Okay. Adele and T Swift each write entire albums about how much they hate you. Oh, or you
Oh, dear.
or you cough and sneeze fire.
Oh, that sounds cool though.
Yeah, be like,
Well, yeah.
Like on demand,
oh,
like
fire.
whenever I want to. I just,
Absolutely.
I don't know if you get to control it. It's got to be something
What
that
if you
sucks.
sneeze in church? Like, you light Nana's hair on fire.
You might be expecting an exorcism.
I
Coming
can't
from someone
see.
who was raised Catholic.
I cannot
that might
control my
not
laugh
go
right now.
well.
Ooh.
That's hilarious.
I
Okay,
think
so do you
fire
want?
for sure?
Yeah.
Because
Alright.
like
You don't want to be
that could be
hated.
like cool.
Yeah.
I could end up joining the Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah, you could light
and I could live
birthday
in
cakes.
Vegas.
Can we also add
I could
farts
be-
in there?
You
like,
fart
yeah,
fire.
done. Game over.
Oh.
fart
Ouch.
and fire.
So
That'd
many
be
new
awkward.
You
pants.
just had to take
Yeah.
it right
Oh,
to
that's
the fart
true.
joke.
Pants are expensive
Yeah.
for ladies.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh.
so anyway, that's hilarious. And now y'all's turn.
Okay,
Good, Seth, that was really good.
so
Oh, dear.
Brian,
You're looking my way.
I am coming for you.
How you doing?
I hope they both come for you.
So, would you? So, if you, I don't know, what is this? Is it? Would you rather then?
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah. If
Would you
had
rather
to-
let every anxiety and fear you have will come true? Have
Oh
that
my
happen.
God.
Or
That sounds
let
horrible.
each of your friends choose a tattoo to put anywhere on you.
Yes.
Hopefully, you don't have a ton of friends if that's where you're going, because
I'm
that'd be
so
a lot of
lonely.
tattoos.
Everybody
All
on Facebook.
400 Facebook friends.
Depends. Are they paying for this tattoo?
It doesn't say.
I'm gonna
so
assume
I'm
they
saying
are.
that no, they're
I
probably
think that's
not.
a safe assumption.
Because
I'm saying if they're picking it, they're paying for it.
I'm gonna put a
So,
murder hornet on your lower back.
the tramp stamp murder hornet.
He's like, "Come at me,
Yeah.
bees."
I had a picture of a bullseye, but never mind.
Yeah.
That works great too. We're gonna do that one also next to the murder hornet.
Oh.
where do you
alright.
think? Do you think they would like take up all the real estate on your behind?
Oh my God,
or,
yeah,
like,
we
what
would.
would
Probably.
happen?
Knowing my
It would
friends.
look like totally
You
normal
know what? I'm gonna
until
go
you.
with the tattoo thing.
I'm gonna put my face
I don't
on your
have
back.
any ink at this point. I'm
Really? You're
no,
inkless.
I'm inkless
We're
at
gonna
this
ink
point.
you up.
so far.
I'm
Me
gonna get a
too.
BTT right here for Beyond the Tap. I'm gonna get that.
What about
Yeah.
a BBC?
I'll get a
Yeah.
BBC over here.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, remember, we get to choose. I'm gonna put a bongo on your back.
that's true. It's gonna be a monkey playing bongo drums.
Hell
That's
yeah,
it.
with the
A
rage.
T-Rex playing bongo drums.
I'm
Maybe.
dead. This is so great.
That'd be really hard.
Be
All right,
awesome.
Lisa stepping up to bat.
Yeah, I guess you're the victim now, Bianca.
I'm ready. Come at me.
All right. Would you rather only tell the truth
Oh, I think I already do that.
Yeah.
Or be sticky all the time and not know why.
Oh, that
be
sounds
stinky
awful.
all the time.
Sticky. It's
Oh,
worse.
sticky. I was like, I don't want to be sticky.
Like sticky where?
Yeah.
I imagine it's
These
gotta be your
are
hand.
great questions.
All the places.
I hate being sticky.
Sticky
no
everywhere.
lie.
I love that we're digging into the details. We're
Yeah.
like, okay, that's fine, but like,
Yeah.
let me just
Yeah.
really make this
Let me
clear.
clarify.
Where are the
Yeah. I
have
tattoos? How
sticky
many
hands.
friends
Yeah.
do I have?
'Cause,
Are
like-
they
I wash my
paying
hands
for
all the
that?
time.
Well, right now with
Loins.
Corona, with my hands,
Yeah.
I could wash it off. 'cause,
Oh, yeah.
like,
But you
the-
wouldn't
Yeah.
ever get it unsticky.
In true life, I
It'd
have
be like
psoriasis,
having-
so that's a whole other weird for me.
Oh
It'd
yeah.
be like having
hands.
a 1-year-old for the rest of your life.
Oh my
It'd be like
God.
weird shaking people's hands if you feel like
I feel
stuck
like
to them.
I would
like,
lose friends. I'm not about being
You can let
sticky.
go.
why are your hands sticky?
I would rather be just
I don't know why.
A truth
my plain
teller.
asshole self, being honest to everyone,
Yeah.
and not have sticky hands.
Stick with
I
it.
would
And just tell them you don't have a choice. But to be honest,
I'm like, I'm
it's-
really sorry, but I have to be because my hands.
Oh.
People be like, what? Okay.
Well,
anyway,
all right,
We
so-
had so much fun.
That was good.
I can't believe this is ending. It's kind of.
I know.
It's kind of BS.
I
We need to
know.
do round 2. We should do a follow up next season.
Hey, we can do it. We
Yeah.
can do it. Let's see how
We do
everything's
whatever we want.
going.
We'll come visit y'all.
But if you had to let people know, just tell them your elevator pitch of,
Or
remind people
escalator
where
pitch.
can they find you? Is there a way that they can find out where to buy you?
what? Are we selling them now?
everywhere.
This
Yeah.
is a human trafficking ad.
Clearly,
You can buy them at Walmart.
Yeah.
You can find us pretty much every liquor store in Northwest Arkansas.
Okay.
Probably over 100 restaurants and bars. And if we're not where you frequent and you want us to be, you need to tell the people that own the place or work there, hey, we want some Bentonville Brewing Company beer.
Yeah.
True that.
That's our customers are our best source of growing our business.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We've got a great loyal following, and they've really helped us out tremendously. So
Great.
we're very appreciative of everybody out there.
I get that home wrecker a lot when I'm out and about. So thank you
It's
for
great.
making that. Thanks,
You
guys.
can still we still do curbside. You can still buy stuff off of our website, the beer.
Yeah.
You can come into the tap room, but
Yeah.
like Lee said, find us where you want to be, and
Hell
we'll
yeah.
try to get there.
That's an awesome tagline. Also, I love my new hat. Hello.
Yeah.
Can you buy that at the y'all's place?
You can.
Hello, people. If you want to be
Sweet.
like us,
We
be
also
like
have
us.
an orange version and a red version.
All the colors you need in your life.
Absolutely. Well, thanks again for being with us.
Thanks for being
we
y'all.
appreciate it. And thanks for making time for us.
Yeah,
We're
thank
glad
you.
to have y'all here, and we'll
partying
share
soon.
you with. Yeah, I know we've got to get together and have some more of this salted cherry.
Yeah,
So.
the cross-eyed crazy Cherry Town.
While it's still here.
I know. I'm about to go buy some.
We got to rebrand the thing now, probably.
Yeah, cross-eyed
Yeah.
crazy Cherry Town.
You just get a picture of Bianca like,
And I'm like, get it, Cherry Town.
And again,
Yeah.
a massive thank you to our sponsor, EcoVet, for this amazing studio, and
Everybody.
also to Seth over here at Growler's Uptown
He's
Kitchen
our
and
number
Tap
one
House.
cheerleader.
We're catching out another episode of Beyond the Tap. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time right here.